Well, the centre's been going for a long time. It was founded in '78, been running for about 33 years. Its interest is in energy environmental issues in the built environment. So we look at sustainable buildings, transport, the things that arise from that environment like waste. And of course, when we look at energy in the whole, we're also very interested in renewable energy and low carbon energy and climate change. So it's a very broad agenda that the centre's interested in. Well, the university as a whole has a very broad range of services that businesses could access. I mean, the centre itself is a group of scientists, engineers and economists that really is interested in answering sort of slightly unusual questions that businesses may have. But more broadly, the university has a vast wealth of knowledge. I could start perhaps over in geography, which will be looking at things like consumer behaviour, moving on to psychology, who are also interested in that. So, you know, how do consumers behave? If you're in a consumer-facing business, you know, and you're interested in a sustainable product, will consumers be more interested in that product than one that's not sustainable? So that's a question psychology could answer. And then we could go much more pure, if you like, down to the renewable energy team in Cornwall. They've started the UK's first undergraduate renewable energy degree. So if businesses are interested in or in that sector, they could be taking on graduates from that degree. So, you know, the university is a very big place. There's a wide range of expertise available, and businesses should really think seriously about accessing it. One thing that the centre can provide also, although we're a group of scientists and engineers, is that we also can address the economic impact of particular sustainable energy proposals. So, you know, it's not just a technical answer that we can provide, we can do something more than that too. I would, you know, advise people, you know, to come to me really if they wanted to ask a question about what the university can offer when they've got a particular problem to solve. And if we can't answer the question ourselves, we'll find someone else who can. Or of course, perhaps that question can't be answered and we won't be successful, but certainly we can try. I think we can look at the challenges business face in the sustainability agenda, if you like, from two different angles. Firstly, I think every business that has a product or service needs to think about how it's perceived from its customer's point of view and how sustainable its offering is. And businesses that, if you like, have a sustainable product are more likely to succeed than ones that don't. So I think every business, therefore, has an interest in its service and product and its sustainability. And that's something that the university can help with in a range of ways, really perhaps no matter what the product or service is. I mean, one thinks of exercises like carbon footprinting, establish exactly how much energy, for example, goes into your product or service. That's going to be of interest to customers, you know, in the future. So moving on to that, every business is also going to be interested in its cost base. And clearly, although for some businesses energy and costs, for example, aren't a huge part of what they do, reducing your costs makes your business more profitable. And of course, you know, almost any business can start with improving its energy efficiency. So that's, you know, a sort of fundamental touchstone that I would advise any business to look at. Of course, looking at it from a slightly different point of view, there's always the opportunity of sustainable products or services in themselves. So the environmental technology sector, for example, is a growing sector. And those businesses that are in a position to diversify into that sector could actually think about establishing products that take a space in that growing sector. When you're a small business and you're renting your premises, it can be a real challenge to cut your energy use because the building that you own isn't yours, it belongs to your landlord. And you may know that improving the fabric of that building by putting insulation in or better windows, for example, might cut your energy bills, but it's really not up to you to finance the capital cost of that. Well, coming up shortly, the coalition government is introducing something called the Green Deal. The Green Deal provides upfront finances of a capital sum to allow businesses to invest in things like insulation in their building that is paid for by savings on their energy bill over time. Those savings mean that your energy bills stay flat to finance the upfront capital that's invested in the energy efficiency measures. And of course, once that period is paid off, you then get real additional savings for your business. So essentially, what we're saying is that you can improve the efficiency of your building without having to pay the upfront capital costs. And it's important to remember that a margin is a margin. And decreasing your cost base, for example, by reducing your energy consumption, is an equally valid way of boosting your profits as increasing sales and sales margins. We've worked with a range of businesses from small to very large businesses on a huge variety of topics and problems. I mean, here locally in the southwest, we've worked with Riverford Organics, looking at their carbon footprint and dealing with tricky issues like whether plastic or paper bags are the most environmentally friendly bags for Riverford to use. And we're also working with Axminster Carpets, looking at reducing their energy consumption significantly in their manufacturing business. If you're looking to invest in sustainable energy in particular, and you're looking for perhaps which renewable technology might suit your business, you need to take a great deal of care in, yes, looking at publicly available information, but then making sure that before you invest too much time and money, you get the right level of advice, because it's an area there where it's easy to make mistakes, and those mistakes can be costly. So just in choosing the right technology, that's one step. Then when you've decided on the technology, looking at planning and what sort of planning process you might need to put that technology in place. And indeed looking at the long-term future of how the income and perhaps costs of that technology might evolve. So while something might make economic sense now, will it make economic sense in 5 or 10 years' time? And you need to really address all those questions to make sure that you're making a sensible, appropriate investment decision. The name, the One Planet MBA, comes from an association between the World Wildlife Fund and the University of Exeter's Business School. And it refers to the fact that here in the UK, for example, if we carry on the way we are, we're consuming the resources for 3 planets, when in fact we've only got 1. And this comes down, of course, to the Brundtland definition of sustainability, which is not prejudicing the success of future generations by the behaviour of our current generation, essentially. And what the One Planet MBA does is integrate sustainability right the way through the programme, with specific guest speakers on sustainability coming in to bring the awareness of the MBA students on sustainability issues up to levels that wouldn't be achieved in other more typical MBA programmes around the country. Well, clearly the programme is primarily aimed at the students. So the students, with their sustainability integrated into their course, are likely to be more marketable to the sorts of companies that they're going to want to join. So the focus of the MBA programme is on the students and the benefit they will derive from the course. Clearly, that belief then that sustainability will be an integral part of business going forward enables that supply of students to move into businesses locally here in the southwest. And as we say, businesses that take notice of sustainability and build it into their business models are more likely to succeed in the future than ones that don't. And I would argue that's the real benefit of the One Planet MBA programme.